Okay, let's get into, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for some Lance Anoa'i suffers another setback as WWE debut is delayed again. Now, I think he was debuted in WWE a while back, but he's had a couple of setbacks. He got injured. This is from Sean Ross Sapp. He got injured very early after getting signed last year and was planned to be sidelined pretty well into 2025. However, based on what we heard, he sustained another injury after that and was still injured this summer. Just very bad luck. So there you go. WWE sources spoken to said that Chris Jericho's name hasn't come up whatsoever around so we're just hearing complete opposite. Dave's like, everyone, many people are talking about it. And then Fightful's like, no conversations have happened. It wasn't in that department. There are certainly talent to speculate his potential return. I saw some other hack sheet today oh, people in AEW are expected for him to never come back there, and he's just going to show up in the Royal Rumble. And even if that does happen, it's like, we're hearing every extreme. Yes, we know it could be any of the things, aliens could come and abduct him, and then he's in the Space Galaxy Federation. What the fuck are we talking about? So anyways, one source in the company called the situation far too early to tell. And I got to be honest, I agree with that. I agree with Fightful here. Like, it's a little bit too early, I think, to be like, he's for surely, like, Dave's throwing it out there because Chris Jericho's his friend and he wants to help him get as much money as possible between Tony or WWE. And that's totally fine, I guess. Meltzer's a shill. We already know. So him shilling for his buddies, that's all good. So Wrestle Purists here report that this is from Cody Rhodes' show. What do you want to talk about? Becky Lynch revealed what the last words Dusty Rhodes ever told her were. She says, I was following him around. I was annoying the shit out of him. I was giving him this idea. I was like, I got this pitch, Dusty. And he goes, shut up, Becky. And I couldn't ask for better words. It was perfect. He was sick of my shit. So the first run WWE programming now airs on all of these platforms. Raw on Monday on Netflix. And see, this is what I try to explain to them. One day they want it they have it. Okay. But they want 7 days a week of WWE. And maybe some off weeks, but at least 1 week out of every month is 7 days a week WWE. But your whole week is filled with WWE. Raw on Monday on Netflix, NXT Tuesday CW, Evolve Wednesday Tubi, SmackDown Friday USA, Saturday night's main event quarterly on Peacock, premium live events monthly on ESPN, AAA we don't know on YouTube. Every 3 months or 4 months or whatever, 3 months. But yeah, first run WWE programming airs on all these platforms. It's a wild time, man. What a time to be alive, right? It's pretty crazy to see them on all of this stuff. And all the sports are doing it. Everyone's doing it. It's just the way of the future, folks. And it's a lot of goddamn wrestling if you try to watch it all. Speaking of watching it all, Rollins joins Get Up ESPN to talk about WrestlePalooza, WWE's first premium live event. Now, people either love or hate the name WrestlePalooza.
How about the big announcement yesterday? Tell the fans what they can expect September 20th.
A surprise, Greeny, surprise, everybody. If you're a wrestling fan, you're used to watching our premium live events on Peacock for the last 4 years. We are moving to ESPN, and we are moving sooner than expected, September 20th. All of our premium live events, which are our big, formerly pay-per-views, are moving to ESPN, to all the ESPN platforms. We're kicking it off in Indianapolis on the 20th of September with the first ever WWE WrestlePalooza. I'm stoked, man. I'm stoked to be a part of the ESPN family.
What does it mean? What is look, I'm a kid who grew up with Roddy Piper, and we got a lot of different people in this room who are different people who are differently excited than they might normally be for a guest that we have to see you here. What does it mean to you to have the WWE and ESPN come together like this?
Well, for me personally, I mean, I grew up, a lot of people had like the Saturday morning cartoons or the morning cartoons before school. I grew up watching Sports Center. That's what kind of sports fan I was. I grew up watching replays of Sports Center in the morning before I went to school.
Yeah, I would do that too, dude.
So the fact that we're here teaming up with ESPN, it's like my two favorite things in the world, sports and WWE coming together. And it's huge for us.
We have TSN in Canada when I was young, Sportsnet and TSN. And I'd get up and watch the fucking highlights from all the games, just anything I didn't watch or whatever, you know, like you'd see it all. They'd have the TSN top 10 and they'd replay that shit like every quarter hour, pal.
As an industry, professional wrestling has been a part of kind of Americana for many years in different iterations. And as we start to dip our toe,
wrestling's a part of that now. It's fucking awesome. I remember when they started covering WWE, UFC, ESPN was pretty rough in their coverage of it. Like they were new to it. You could tell a bunch of the broadcasters there like didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. It'll probably be that way with WWE for a while too, but they'll get there. So the White Album from Ron Killings. First I hit him with the Black Album, then I'm back at him as the best rapper alive. Ask about me. From bricks to billboards. So Ron Killings, the White Album, though. There's the Gray Album. Someone made something where they mixed together. They made the Gray Album where they mixed, what was it? The Beatles and Jay-Z and whatever. Either way, Ron Killings lands number 10 country albums on Billboard. That's pretty fucking crazy. And he does like the Shabuzi style. Someone pour me up another shot of whiskey. It's like country rap, pop crossover type shit, you know? But good for him, man. I always said it. He actually makes good music. And it might not be for everybody, but he landed 10 on Billboard in the country section. So, I mean, let's be real here. I don't know how many plays that really takes, but hey, country's alive and well. So here's Punk on First Take. And he says he's trapped in the Seth Rollins vortex.
For me, yeah, I think it's been everything that I ever thought the WWE could and should be, behind the scenes and in front of the camera. That's a better question you should ask fans and stuff like that, because ultimately they're my boss. They're our bosses. So I think they could agree. You know, I did some pretty spectacular stuff with Drew McIntyre. And unfortunately, I'm currently still thorn in my side, Seth Rollins, involved in that whole vortex. But you know, we're trying to move on from that. We're trying to get past that.
Oh, not
for me, yeah.
Motor City versus Miz and Mellow Man. This match is fucking bagging. Crowd's super into it. This is the best Motor City's looked. Have gotten over while on TV as we head into commercial break. It's official. WWE has announced that John Cena's retirement match will take place at WWE Saturday Night's Main Event on December 13, streaming on Peacock. No ads during Cena's final match. So here's the thing, man. I don't think him coming back for like another, I can do a WrestleMania is off the table either. I really fucking don't. The way that he's done, he's put more because they've had to move some of this shits around. They're adding these shows like September 20th likely wasn't a planned thing for him right off the rip, right? So I wouldn't be shocked if like one day we do see Cena just show up for like a Mania one-off. But as of this tour, we know confirmed December 13, that will be his retire. I also wouldn't be shocked if he just ended it there. But I think the way things have gone, he wouldn't be opposed to it for another match, maybe this Mania coming up, or as like a run-in again in a Cody Rhodes situation, or maybe we see him like as a suit, as like an authority figure, maybe even not even getting physical by that time. I can't wait till we get into that era of Cena, where in his off time from shooting Peacemaker or whatever DCU film he's got going on, he's like in a suit, being an authority figure, letting his hair get gray and shit. I can't wait for that era. I don't know. When does that come? In the next 5 years or something? 10 years at the most? That shit's going to be awesome. But yeah, shout out Cena. I can't wait. December 13, man. If that's it, it's it. So Pat McAfee's returning after a very long absence. He will be doing the ESPN WrestlePalooza show, but I don't know if it goes further than that. And they might just want him because it's ESPN, you know? No Mercy, NXT No Mercy PLE planned for September 27 in Fort Lauderdale. So that'll be fun. So tickets are on sale for the next AAA show using the pre-sale code ALLWWE. So fucking petty, dude.
Best guys, Tony Khan.
All WWE. I think they've used that code before, though. Rikishi had this to say. Or no, is this a fucking work? The Samoan Stinker Pod. Yeah, this is Sentel. This has to be okay. So Machiavelli got Sentel, not me, because I didn't see that part of it. But never mind. This is just a fake fucking thing where it says back in my day, guys didn't get pregnant when they had this strap. So there you fucking go. Pat McAfee makes his WWE return at WrestlePalooza. Triple H confirms it here on ESPN.
This is the perfect partnership. It's starting early, September 20th, WrestlePalooza, in the home of the one and the only Pat McAfee, who's like family to us. You know, Pat will be there. He's going to light the place up. It's going to be exciting. Indianapolis, we were just there. This is the perfect part.
Pretty bonkers, man. Trish Stratus shares the heartbreaking news of her mother's passing. Our condolences to Trish and her family. Best energies and wishes to Trish and her family right now. That's incredibly unfortunate. And she shared a very lengthy post. And God bless her. So speaking of Ben Hameen, who I linked up with him and Jeff Lane and Husey over on Husey's channel. Make sure you guys check that out. We talked the whole K100 Vince Russo beef and Russo's brand beef and all of that. And Russo's like, bro, let me tell, bro, I don't even think that I can do a show with Disco. And bro, Disco's such a mark, bro, that in WCW, bro, let me tell you, this guy came up, hand to God, bro, hand to God. I swear to God, bro, this guy, Disco Inferno, tells me, do you know what he tells me? I swear to God, bro, he says, we should call this guy Bill Ding. And I said, bro, I invented Stone Cold Steve Austin. You're a mark, bro. You're a mark. That's it. So, hey, look over here. So this person's just roasting them. Femme Wrestle here says, 3 old men performing mental gymnastics to make something very simple, very confusing. Then get crazy over the confusion they created. If you don't have working brain cells to connect .1, so they're just roasting Stevie and shit. I didn't read the roast part. I just bookmarked the clip. So let's take a listen here. Make this make sense. Here's Vince Russo, the Russo's brand, Stevie Richards, and Heater Hameen.
So we got Stephanie's place, and she's sitting there, and she said with Trinity
bro.
Jimmy Uso. So she's sitting there with Trinity. Okay, now, Stevie, I'm watching this for the first time. She's sitting there with Trinity. They lead up to the clip, and then they cut.
I think Mello's gonna Miz got the fucking win, and I think Mello's gonna turn on Miz, dude, in the very end of all of this. Because he's a better heel. The crowd pops so hard for Miz's dirty tag too. Jesus, man.
Cut it off and go to commercial. Then, Stevie, we come back with Naomi's music and entrance. So you just showed us Trinity in this show, and now 5 minutes later, you're showing us Naomi. Oh, okay. So now we saw on Stephanie's place, Trinity and Jimmy were happy about something with a big announcement. Now we got Naomi crying. And now we got Naomi, Ben, telling you to watch Trinity on the screen. Let's go back.
Right. Okay. Listen, I'm with him with the whole name thing because Naomi's, Trinity Fatu's her name, and she's been in movies or a movie, and she's gonna do more of that, guys. I'm fucking Phil. Don't miss. Naomi ain't. She even said it. I'm gonna come back and get you, bitches. Whatever. That's what you say. And she might come back and lay down for someone and be like, I never lost that belt and shit. I could totally see that getting a Mania payoff, but I could even see her maybe having like a shorter run or something. I don't see her wrestling that much longer. I'll be honest. And she's trying to do the acting shit and everything. On the podcast, they break fucking kayfabe, so they're calling her Trinity. I get what Vince is saying there. However, when he's dissecting her, like she's happy there, but she's crying here. A, women. B, different emotions for different things. Naomi's vacating a title in one, but announcing her fucking pregnancy on the other. So on the one thing, she's saying, I'm fucking pregnant. It's amazing. This shit's awesome. And then she goes out on the wrestling show to say, hey, I'm fucking now I'm upset and emotional because yes, I'm pregnant and that is an emotional thing, but also I have to vacate this fucking title. So, Barreau, I got to call you out, Vince, on that one. I don't know. You're dissecting and I get the whole, oh, they're breaking kayfabe, bro, but we're so past that. God damn it. We're so beyond that. That's one of my, I think I get triggered more when people slap. Veteran Jack Vaughn told me on PWT Pod recently, he's like, someone slapped their thigh on a spear he saw recently on an indie show. And I was like, whoa, like I still get more triggered by that than like people having their kayfabe and shoot names and shit. I don't give a fuck, you know?
To Trinity now, and then Trinity and Jimmy are sharing this wonderful moment that she's pregnant. Then we go back to Naomi, and she's cutting a heel promo on Adam Pearce. And I'm just saying to myself, bro, if I was watching this for the first time, I would have no idea what is going on here.
No, I agree with that last part 100%. I'd be like, what the fuck? The thing is that WWE assumes everyone gets it, and wrestling is everything's a niche now, boys. Everything's a niche. Other than sports is like one of the last things where you can just casually fucking. Otherwise, like if you're a weekly television show, they just assume most people will Google the shit and stuff, which is not good. It's very AEW-ish, and I've been calling that shit out recently with WWE too. With like some of this, oh, the AAA tag titles, here's 2 AAA guys and shit. They do a good job of coaching and explaining who people are. WWE does for its fans, a way better job than AEW does, but it's getting a little AEW-ish now. That's all I'll say. WrestlePalooza will feature Cena, Rollins, Lynch, McIntyre, Punk, Rhodes, and major matches, according to Deadline. This is going to be a huge fucking event. They're going to treat it like the Raw on Netflix debut. Okay, that's how it's going to be. It's going to be a huge, like, celebrity-style show, but I don't think we'll get The Rock showing up there and just talking. I think we'll get a lot of wrestling. Triple H comments on the possibility of more PLEs moving to 2 nights, and he says, I think it'll be something that we see over time. I think time will tell. And it's really for us about super serving our fans. Just like for ESPN, you guys thrive on super serving your fan base and the people that watch us. So do we. It's what we want to do. So when we can turn these into bigger events, make them destination weekends for the fans, that's what we all want to do. Yeah, I don't know if making more PLEs is the move, though, to serve fans. But to serve fans that want to go to live events, yeah, because they've eliminated the house show shit, essentially. That's what he says, dude. They're bigger events. They're destination weekends. That's how he views WWE. And that's what the move, it's only going to get bigger and bigger. We're talking about $70,000 for WrestleMania seats. We're talking about $4,000 for fucking front row seats now and shit. It's getting a little gross. It's getting a little shitty. And for the people who just, and I get it, when we talk about WWE versus AEW, WWE's fucking destroying them in every metric. We can look at the numbers. WWE's winning. WWE, the W is for W, for win. But when it comes to, like, okay, when it comes to enjoying some shit, none of the fucking, just like when people say the Netflix ratings are bad, that doesn't affect shit for me. That doesn't, the AEW TV ratings are bad. That doesn't affect shit for me criticizing it or not. Still going to call out if it's shitty, even if they had 3 billion viewers. I'd be like, this is shitty, but clearly it's fucking working. And I'd point out the same shit that I do for WWE if the shoe is on the other foot. As far as like, I don't know, man. They just want people, to travel. Cities look at it as like a tourism fucking thing. It's the Harlem Globetrotters. They tour around. You travel to see them, or the economy shifts because they show up and everybody shows up to this fucking big event and they pay an exorbitant amount of money. Does it mean everything they're doing or like that's good for fans? Or does it mean it's right for the common fan? Or maybe some people, like Triple H would rather have it where people set aside their vacation money for the year for their families to go to a WWE event than have a bunch of green shirt guys who are just showing up to every fucking show. Or, you know, you can get in the fucking nosebleeds, I guess, for how cheap are nosebleed seats for some of these events too. I'd love to know. And as long as they keep selling out, it won't change. And so all you can do is applaud them and be like, look at this fucking ungodly amount of business they're doing. And as long as they continue to put on good shows and PLEs, I'm fucking happy as a fan, you know? Some people are like, the product's shit, though, and it's not that good. And I would say the PLEs make it worth it for me as a fan to get Netflix, let alone the fact that I also get Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and all the WrestleManias and all the Rumbles and shit. Just the PLEs make me go, I'd probably get Netflix for that if I, you know, there's other shit. Maybe Wednesday, my wife will check that out, or I'll watch Stranger Things, or I like Squid Game, you know? So there's some shit I'll watch on there, some of those train wreck docs. You know, I'll use Netflix for a few things, right? So it's worth it. Mostly WWE, though. It's worth it for me. I don't know if, like, you're in the States, is it worth it to have Peacock and ESPN and fucking this and that and Netflix and this and that? I don't know, man. I don't the product, if the quality of the product is worth that. Because is this Attitude Era level good? Is this the greatest WWE's ever been? No. It was cooking way harder even like 2 years ago. Just week to week, even, I think, with the storylines and everything. So again, there's a lot of people who just rely on, like, look at the business they're doing. It's fucking just amazing. Because I mean, these same cocksuckers will use the argument like, and I'll say it like, WWE is the best, hands down. Yes, it's inarguable. Just like people will be like, oh, is Taylor Swift the best singer? Yeah, she kind of is. Is she technically the best fucking? No. Ben Hameen brought up the fucking McDonald's analogy on Hughesy's show, and I brought it up before as well. And it's the same fucking point. Like, is it a Wagyu beef burger? No, but it's not their objective. WWE's objective is to be in every fucking home and put on the standard bearer of fucking pro wrestling, the best production, worth your money, the biggest stars, the biggest names, the best PLEs you could put on, celebrities, the best wrestling matches, which I do think it has the best wrestling matches. I do, like, overall pound for pound. Now, every fucking Raw, are people going out there breaking their necks? No, but they don't have to. Are the PLEs fucking nuts? Yes. Every WWE PLE has been crazy lately, for the most part, you know? Like, there's a match where you're like, holy fucking shit, and there's some Brock Lesnar comes back, or Naomi cashes in, or something crazy happens where you're like, holy fuck. AEW pay-per-views are becoming a little redundant now in my mind. They're just like dynamites. They're just like, every pay-per-view is just like them doing everything. That's what they do every show. Every show is someone doing everything in AEW. So it just gets a little redundant. But ultimately, at the end of the day, and I've said it a million times, we're watching you, Hickenbottom. We're watching you, Helmsley. Okay, don't start slacking and lacking. Keep putting on great shows like the AAA show and all this shit. And hey, man, if people can afford to go to your shows, all the power to you, to them, and to you. If a lot of people go, fuck this, I can't afford to go anymore, that is extremely shitty. And I don't know if this is necessarily, quote unquote, fan service, turning WWE into a destination type thing if you want to see it live. Otherwise, and maybe that's the way they're looking at it. Well, if you can't come to it live, we're like everywhere on TV. So you're going to see something we do somewhere in some form or fashion on TV, right? And that's cool. But when you start doing shit like that, Dana White tried that before, where there was like UFC shows going on at the same time. And like one of them's on during the day in like Europe, and then the other one starts at the same time in the States. And they stopped doing that. And Dana White was asked around that time, like, hey, man, do you think it's good to almost like go against yourself and have MMA fans be like unable to watch this shit and unable to afford to attend the, like, you know, you got Bruce Buffer who can't do every show, snapping his streak just because whatever. And Dana's response was like, well, this show isn't for you. And I don't want to get ahead of myself, but it seems, and that didn't work out well. People were like, okay, that's a dumb fucking thing to say. Like, no, I watch every fight, you know? So fucking Gustafsson is for me because I've watched him fight John Jones, and I don't give a fuck if he's fighting in Europe. I don't care if he's fighting on Mars. I want to watch all the fights. And so they stopped doing that for a reason. When it comes to WWE, now they're not like competing with themselves, but they're competing against AEW, clearly. And they're also spreading themselves kind of thin to where, is it the move? Is it the move to be like, well, you just watch our shit on Netflix then if you can't on ESPN or whatever? I don't know if that's the move, man. But as long as these shits still sell out and people fork up their fucking life savings to go to these shows and shit, I mean, they're not going to slow down. So we're watching you. We're watching you, but I can't complain. To me, I've enjoyed the shows lately. Is Raw and SmackDown like can't miss TV? No, it's not supposed to be anymore. Like the whole point of streaming is you can watch it the next day. But there's also a reason why Netflix didn't just fucking chop their arm off and give a leg to keep the WWE PLEs and all that shit. Like, there's a reason for that, guys. There's a reason that, and I'm not saying like the numbers are failing and all this shit, but they might not be as great as maybe spreading themselves thin is their way of let's get as much money as we can before people catch on to the numbers aren't as what some, like maybe people expected more growth than they had. I did. I thought when they opened it up to India and shit as well, and like I thought the numbers would get boosted. Like I talk shit. I was like, wait till Dave sees the numbers from India and stuff. But no, they stayed the same pretty much. So we're watching closely. And some people, I said it earlier too, VPN might be the best. Insert blank name VPN. And if one of you lucky VPN sponsor me over here at Pro Wrestle Times, maybe someone could save 20% off with a promo code. But you motherfuckers need to email me at prowrestletimes@gmail.com. So Daniel Cormier says that Brock Lesnar would have been the safest fight he ever took in his life in UFC, in the MMA world, because Cormier, of course, fought in Strikeforce as well, won their Grand Prix, went to the UFC, became a two-weight champion. He is one of the GOATs, but he's just so sour grapes. And sometimes on commentary, he annoys the fuck out of me. But yeah, he talks about Brock Lesnar, who he was primed up to fight. Like Brock got in the octagon and shoved Cormier and shit like that years ago. And they were slated to fight, but Brock is just busy. Controversy, went back to WWE and was just on the sauce. You know what I mean?
The WWE got him. The WWE took him back. That was my golden goose, man. We had that moment in the ring. I pushed him. He pushed me. WWE paid him back. They were paying Brock like $6-7 million a year, maybe 10.
Right.
You tell
let's hear what Daniel says, then I'll give you my fight analysis on how I think DC Brock would have went down and if DC would have walked through Brock.
Brock, you can go fight DC and lose, or you can come back.
Who say you gonna lose?
I'm beating Brock Lesnar, man. I was beating Brock.
That was a big dude, man. 6'4".
Don't matter, dog. Shay, I was beating Brock Lesnar. It was one of the safest fights I could have had. I'm telling you, dog. That's the truth. It's just the truth. I like Brock too.
Yeah.
He's a great guy, but I watched what Kane did to him. I watched how he would react to getting punched.
Right.
And I was gonna punch him. He would have to
shout out Club Shay Shay as well.
Take me down.
Right.
To win the fight. And I can wrestle.
Yeah, but he's not a wrestler. I mean, he was a wrestler.
Yeah, he was.
But
if he shoots on me,
he's not a wrestler. Shay Shay, shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ. That's why. See, Shay Shay just these fucking like basketball players and shit, and these football players and shit, and these fucking Jay Cutler bodybuilder dudes trying to talk MMA and shit now because it's popular and pro wrestling and shit. It's so funny to see them try and talk Stephen A. Smith and shit. That's why DC would have whooped Brock's ass, because Brock's real only chance at beating DC would be take him down and smother him. Do you know how fucking hard that'd be to do to DC? Because that's what DC can always just rely on. DC had pretty good fucking hands. He could dirty box really well. He would have, even though he famously got KO'd in somewhat of a dirty boxing session with Stipe. But I mean, they just, in that fight, DC just said, fuck it, dropped his hands and just stood in the pocket with Stipe and just banged it out with him. It was like he had the biggest gut he's ever had in a fight. You know, DC, I think, was just like, fuck it. He knew he was getting close to done. And so when he got starched by fucking Stipe, it was, and also he had already knocked out Stipe and shit. So, or vice versa. So either way, it was what it was. But the point I'm getting at is that DC has beaten some legit strikers, some legit jiu-jitsu guys, and some legit wrestlers already. And he would have just made it a grimy, dirty boxing fight, which Brock can't do. Now, Brock has beaten elite strikers like someone like a Mark Hunt. Mark Hunt isn't a guy who, he can get grimy and get into brawls, but he's not a guy who's like super good at fucking stuffing takedowns and also like closing the distance and You know, he's more of a methodical, like plotter, kickboxer guy. And so Brock was able to keep the distance. He actually threw leg kicks successfully at Mark Hunt. And Brock, in his retirement, like his final MMA match, he was able to like keep the distance and then close it really fast and just get Mark Hunt down. He wouldn't be able to do that on DC. Like DC trained wrestling, especially at that time. He's an elite wrestler, and he trained with Cain Velasquez, former WWE superstar as well. The way Kane beat Lesnar was that way. He just got in his face, boxed him up, had him flip-flopping and flying, got him against the cage, just boxed him up and put him down. And DC would train with Kane. DC and Kane never fought each other, but that's like a dream fight in MMA at that time, if they had of. But they were best friends and shit. They trained together so much that DC went down to light heavyweight. But he trained with Kane to the point that he probably knew in his mind, like, yeah, I've taken worse from Kane, you know, and I've beaten the shit out of Kane from time to time. So if that's what he did to you, I'd have smoked you. And he's right. DC would have beat Brock Lesnar for real. And if they were just grappling, I don't know. Brock maybe could have still taken it at that time. He's a freak. Brock relied in his MMA career mostly on being a freak. His striking was never that great. Even his ground and pound technique was never that great, but he's just such a freak. Now, what did he have? Some people would question this and say, no, Brock didn't have heart and shit like that. No, he did. He could take punishment. Even when Kane whooped him, it's not like he was KO'd, flatlined. Like, that dude will not. Brock is the kind of guy where he would probably, you'd have to kill him before you'd KO him. Like, you'd have to probably hit him so many times in the head that, you know, like I don't think anyone could just put him out night, you know. And so the ref had to step in. And then another time, like when Alistair beat him, he had diverticulitis. Alistair beat him, kicked him in the fucking, hit him with a liver shot. And he just went down. Like, yeah, he shouldn't have even been fighting Alistair at that time or anybody. But Alistair hit him to the body with some clean shots and he went down. Of course, if you're a guy who can sprawl takedowns, like you can hang in there with Brock, I mean, you're pretty much able to beat him. But I mean, even Shane Carwin, that guy was knocking out, beating everyone, and he punched himself out, and then Brock came back and beat him. He beat Frank Mir, who's like an elite heavyweight at one point in his prime, elite on the ground, especially. So he did beat he beat Randy Couture, but he was really old and shit. Heath Herring's a legit win, but Brock was never this guy who, you know, and especially at heavyweight, there's like levels to this shit, and DC's just one level above like everyone in that realm of like John Jones, DC, who else? Like Stipe, I guess, was in that realm. Some of the great heavyweights of all time were just on this other fucking level, you know, that DC entered in. And yeah, he would have smoked Brock, in my opinion. That would have been like a fucking 2-round fight at the most. So third row seat for WWE WrestlePalooza will cost $6,000 plus taxes for the third row. That's fucked, man. The NBC viewer numbers are reportedly far lower than Saturday night's event that people expected. That is according to the Wrestling Observer, which we don't know if that's true or not. NXT scored a $675K. Dynamite did $565K. So beat them by $110K as Cena comes out in this drippy black and Irish flag gear. Kalani Brown of the WNBA's Phoenix Mercury has revealed she's been offered a WWE tryout. Dave Meltzer said that there are those in WWE into Danhausen's gimmick, including The Rock, who was a big fan of him when he first started making his name, Brian. And he's educated because Dewey reads The Observer. So shout out Danhausen. He's 100% getting hired by WWE, and he's 100% going to cross over with Mr. Iguana. Per India Today, The Undertaker is considered for a special wildcard contestant entry into the Big Boss, which is their version of Big Brother India. House in the latest season, likely around November. Mike Tyson is also being considered. So either Undertaker or Mike Tyson is going to be in this fucking Big Brother India show, where the other countries, they just get celebrities from America to come in and be on the show. So according to The Observer, WWE's deal with X has reportedly come to an end, which is why Speed has been scrapped. Damn, Dublin's singing. The time is now. Aaliyah addresses possible WWE return here. And Aaliyah had this to say. She said that, oh, yes, the $1 million question. I bring a lot of experience and versatility to the table. At this stage, I can work as a babyface healer in a supporting role. I'm surprised like AEW never scooped her up. Whatever helps elevate the product and make the show stronger. I know how to make other performers look good in the ring, engage the audience, and contribute to the product. My goal is simple, to add value wherever I'm needed to help the main roster shine at every level. So, yeah, hope she's still talking like she's got a job there. Hopefully, I always loved her and her in-ring style, and I hope they bring her back, or TNA, or maybe AEW. Her style, I'm surprised AEW never scooped her up. And ladies and gentlemen, that was WWE.